So you're looking for a little bit of strategy in best ball? You came to the right place. Let's get it. There's a different mindset and strategy that you have to be in when you're playing in a best ball league. Keep in mind of bye weeks and that there is no waiver claims. You have to be ready to draft for the whole season. Watching this video hopefully will help you be prepared for the draft and to dominate in your best ball leagues. Make sure you are editing your pre-draft rankings. You can easily drag and drop players into your rankings to make sure that you have the players that you want to draft ahead of those who you may not want to draft. Just click, drag, and release. It's just that easy. I think it's super important that you're not using the default rankings that is provided for you. This is an easy way to get a step ahead of all the other players that are just using the default rankings that they were told is better and the ones they should be drafting. That's going to keep you ahead of the game. One of the best things you can do while in the draft is to look at the tools given to you, such as the pick history. Here you can keep track of who's been taken before you and to scope out any positional runs that are currently occurring. Another great tip is to make sure that you're using the strategy by making sure you're looking at the teams before you and after you. This rule is especially important if you're 1 to 2 spots away from the turn in a snake draft. Let's take this scenario as an example. I knew I picked 11th in a 12-team league, and there was only one person picking after me before my next pick. I wanted to take quarterback Matt Ryan with my next pick. I looked at the person who picked after me, Henry 0421. Then I wanted to pull up his roster, and I saw he already had 2 quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, and then he had Matthew Stafford. Since the likelihood was that he didn't need to draft a quarterback, I then moved Matt Ryan to my second pick and selected a running back. This is an easy way you can maximize the players that you receive. Now let's go over 10 draft strategy tips that you can utilize while you're going through your draft and help you mentally prepare for what's coming next. The first tip is to grab 2 quarterbacks late. You can easily take quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins, and Russell Wilson later in drafts. Let others take the Josh Allens and Patrick Mahomes of the draft. Meanwhile, you're going to be sitting there loading up on skill positions and still able to be set at quarterback by waiting on your quarterback. The number 2 tip we're going over, only draft 2 tight ends. Please, for the love of crap, stick with only 2 tight ends unless you are taking a tight end with a big injury-prone label. This position is terrible. Unless you have a Travis Kelce or Mark Andrews, you probably aren't going to be winning the league due to your tight end. Use your picks on other skill positions. The third tip, let's load up on our running backs and wide receivers. Like I was saying earlier, let everyone else grab their early quarterback. You need to load up on position that matters the most, and that is running backs and wide receivers. You can start 2 to 3 running backs and 3 to 4 wide receivers due to the flex, so you need depth at those positions. The fourth tip, let's pay attention to what other people in the draft are taking. It's important to look at what others are picking so that you can either jump into a run to make sure you don't miss out on a position, or to see if you would like to go a different direction from what's trending at the moment. The fifth tip we're going to talk about is to pay attention to bye weeks. I can't stress this enough. Most likely, you're going to be leaving the draft with 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends. If they have a bye week on the same week, then you will accrue 0 points for that week for that position. Please, don't be that person. The sixth tip, value rushing quarterbacks due to a 4-point passing touchdowns versus 6-point rushing touchdowns. You need to look at best ball as a different animal. In leagues where the quarterback gets 4 points per passing touchdown, you should look at quarterbacks such as Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts over other players that don't run the ball as much. At the end of the day, you're looking for the most points possible, and running quarterbacks tend to hit high numbers faster. The seventh tip, only draft a few boom or bust players. please do not load your roster with a ton of boom or bust players. Just take around 2 of them. Don't leave the draft with Tyreek Hill, Marquise Brown, Chris Godwin, Gabriel Davis, and Robbie Anderson. You probably won't be happy. You need consistency on your roster with a sprinkle of boom or bust players. You would hate to have a week of a bunch of busted players. The 8th tip is to stay away from injury-prone players if you can help it. Try not to draft the players who are listed as injury-prone. We're talking about players like Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Julio Jones, James Conner, and Saquon Barkley, just to name a few. These are high-risk, high-reward type of players. Due to there being no waivers, a key injury in week 1 or 2 can completely derail your team for the entire season. At tip number 9, we're going to drafting a few handcuffs. A great strategy that I believe to use is to draft some of those few handcuffs that you can find in the NFL. Walking away with a Tony Pollard, an A.J. Dillon, a Chuba Hubbard, or Alexander Madison can be a great idea. If an injury occurs to the starter ahead of them, you just inherit a starting player for free. Number 10, don't overdraft rookies. It may be fun to take all the brand new shiny rookies in your best ball league, but the odds are is that your rookies won't make a huge impact in year 1. Load your rosters with proven players to help you win now. Best ball doesn't give points for drafting a player that will be good next year. As always, thank you for watching the video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, even leave a comment down below if there's maybe another tip or trick you'd like to share with others. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Take care.